great pleasure and opportunity to present this program on behalf of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Colombo, High Commission of India, under the topic of Ramayana trails in Sri Lanka. It is one of the events of India 75, celebrating the 75th Indian independence. It is my great pleasure in presenting this program on the event of Sri Rama Navami. Sri Rama Navami is the birth tithi of Lord Rama. Navami means the ninth day of diminishing moon or growing moon. The fifth day of diminishing moon or growing moon is known as Panchami. The seventh day of the diminishing moon or growing moon is known as Saptami. And the eighth day of the diminishing moon or growing moon is known as Attami. Similarly, the ninth day of the diminishing moon or the growing moon is known as Navami, and the 10th day is known as Dasami in the Hindu astrological calendar. In the month of Chitra, the ninth day of the growing moon, the Sri Rama Navami falls. Before I move into my lecture today, under the topic of Ramayana trails in Sri Lanka, it is my great pleasure to give a short introduction about the two main epics of India, Mahabharata and Ramayana. These two prehistorical epics of India preach the doctrines of Dharma and Karma doctrines. Dharma doctrine preaches the good virtues of life which lead to the salvation, and the Karma doctrine which implies the deeds, what we had done in our previous birth and what are the deeds which we are doing in our present birth. All these lead us for the next birth. Now I will move to my selective topic, Ramayana trails in Sri Lanka. It is not necessary for me to explain about the Ramayana whole story because everybody knows this story very well. I will start from the point where the ancient king Ravana abducted Sita Devi by Pushpakara Vimana to Sri Lanka, and he brought her by the Pushpakara Vimana and landed at a place called Verakatota. Verakatota is presently located in the central province of Sri Lanka. It is presently located in the central province of Sri Lanka, and he brought her by conspiracy to this land by a Vimana. Vimana means the plane. In Tamil, it is called Vimanam. The name of the Vimana is Pushpakara Vimana, and landed at the spot Verakatota. Even still, we can see and locate that location in Sri Lanka. As soon as the king Ravana brought her to the island, he kept her at the palace of Queen Mandodari's palace. The Queen Mandodari's palace was surrounded by beautiful atmosphere, very beautiful atmosphere, surrounded by beautiful flower trees, streams and waterfalls. From there only she was shifted to Asokavatika, the place which is known as Asokavana in Tamil. It is said Sita Devi was shifted from the palace of Queen Mandodari to Asokavatika, and also in Asokavatika area she was kept in a thick jungle area called Kurulupotha area. Kurulupotha area where she was kept. And that particular area is known as Sita Fortress. That particular area is known as Sita Fortress, and that means the Sita Fortress. That means the Sita Fortress. In the particular area of Kurulupotha, she was kept in a place which is known as Sita Fortress. That means Sita Fortress. Kurulupotha area is the area King Ravana's Vimana Repair Center. It was the place King Ravana used for Vimana Repair Center or Vimana Assembling Center. That was the area, Kurulupotha area. And the plane or the Vimana was known as Tandu Monara. Tandu Monara means the flying peacock. That means the flying peacock, because the Ravana's Vimana was looked like a flying peacock. That's why it was known as Tandu Monara. King Ravana took Sita Devi by a chariot to Asokavatika. On the way, he wanted to show the beauty of Lankapura to Sita Devi, but she was not in that mood and she was in tears. And there is a place called Sita Tearpond. That particular place, the devotees of Sita Devi believe that is filled by the tears of Sita Devi. It is full of water always and it never gets dried up. How much drought takes place in that area even, that particular pond is never get dried. The devotees believe that is the tears filled by the pond of Sita Devi. The Sugriva, the king of monkeys, he sent his armed forces all over the world in search of Sita Devi. Jambuwan, Hanuman and Angada were sent to the southern side of India in search of Sita Devi. At Asoka Vatika, Hanuman found Sita Devi, and as soon as he found Sita Devi at Asoka Vatika, he wanted to show his strength to the King Ravana and for his army. He uprooted the trees and destroyed the Asoka Vatika. That means he destroyed the trees and destroyed the Asokavanam to show his power and strength to the Ravana's army and King Ravana. And he was capitulated by the Ravana's army and forces and brought before the King Ravana at his palace. Under the instruction of King Ravana, his tail was set on fire. In return, Hanuman burned many places in Lanka. Still, the scars of those burnt areas could be found by the general public. Hanuman landed at Sri Lanka, first at the place of one of the mountains at Pusallava, which was located in between King Ravana's palace and Asoka Vatika area. Still, the footprints could be seen at that particular top of the mountain. Usarkoda is the area. It is said that Hanuman touched the area with the fire tail, and it is said that he tried to extinguish his fire at that place, and still we can see that area is with reddish color soil. After seeing Sita Devi, Hanuman rested at one of the hill top that is called Mani Kattudar. Still we can see that area. Mani Kattudar is the place where Hanuman rested after seeing Sita Devi. After the arrival of Hanuman, King Ravana kept Sita Devi in different places. One of the places was Istripura. Still that place is called Istripura. There is a place called Konda Kattukala. It is said that Sita Devi deranged her hair. It is said that Sita Devi deranged her hair. That place is called Konda Kattukala. It is said Ravana's palace was interconnected with numerous tunnels. It shows the architectural excellence of Lankapura during that time. It is said Ravana's palace was interconnected to Bandaravala, Halagala, Rambada, Variapola, Hasalaka and Matala. Besides, it is said that Ravana's palace was also interconnected with one tunnel with Kaluthura Buddhist temple. At the Ramayana war, Lord Rama, Lakshmana and considerable amount of monkey armies were injured by a powerful attack from King Ravana's side, and they became unconscious. Under the instruction of Jambuwan, Hanuman was sent to Himalayas to get a herbal medicine called Sanjeevani plant. But when he reached the Himalayas range, he couldn't identify the plant properly. Then he uprooted the whole mountain. While he was bringing, some part of the mountain along with the plants were dropped in some of the areas in Sri Lanka. Those were while Hanuman was bringing the mountain along with the herbals to Sri Lanka, some portions of the herbals along with the rocks were dropped into certain areas in Sri Lanka. One area was Gumasala in Gaul district, other was at Hiripitiya, and other was Ritigala near Horapatana Road, Anuradhapura, and Talladi in Mannar district, and Kachadivu Island. Kachadivu is an island located in between India and Sri Lanka. It is presently administered by the Sri Lanka. It is one of the important places in the Ramayana trails of Sri Lanka. Dunu means arrow, Villa means lake. Lord Rama from the lake only used his Brahmasaram and King Ravana and killed him. This is the place where Lord Rama killed Ravana by using his arrow, Brahmasaram. This place is called Dunuvilla. The area behind the Dunuvilla area is called Laggala or Laggegala. In Sinhala, it is called Ilakkegala. Ilakkegala, the direct translation of English means the target rock. This is considered as the highest mountain in Sri Lanka, where King Ravana kept his sentry point to watch the activities of his enemy forces. King Ravana's forces from this central point watched the activities of Lord Rama and informed to King Ravana about their activities. This is considered still as the highest mountain in Sri Lanka, where King Ravana kept his forces to watch the activities of his enemy forces. Another important place in the Ramayana trails in Sri Lanka is Yahangana. Yahangana area is closer to Mahiyangana area in Sri Lanka. At this area only, the dead body of King Ravana was kept for the public respect. Another important place in Sri Lanka which is connected to Ramayana is Villundi. Villundi is the place. Means bow is kept firmly. It is said Lord Rama kept his bow at that place. Because of that, the place got the name Villundi. Today, that place is popularly known as Villundi, and also there is a cremation cemetery there. It is closer to the heart of Jaffna town. This place is popularly known as Villundi, and it is said Lord Rama kept his bow at that place. Because of that, that particular place is known as Villundi up till date. Another important connecting factor in Ramayana trails is Rama Bridge, which is also popularly known as Setu Bridge. Still we can identify that bridge. Most of the flights, when they cross that area, they point out that we are crossing the Rama Bridge. We can see that from the plane. Most of the flights from Colombo to Chennai, mostly we can see that bridge. All the airlines, they announce when they fly over that bridge that we are crossing that bridge. Divarapada is another important place connected to the Ramayana trails in Sri Lanka, where Sita Devi proved her innocence and purity to her husband Lord Rama by having the Agni bath. This place is called Place of Oath in English. After the death of Ravana, Vibhushana was crowned as the king of Lankapura. After that, Lord Rama, Lakshmana and Sita travelled back to India by a Vimana. But Lord Rama felt that the Brahmadakshi dosha caused by the killing of King Ravana was following him. When he passed the Munishwaran temple, he went and worshipped Lord Shiva there. And where Lord Shiva instructed Lord Rama to install 5 different lingams in 5 different Shiva temples. 5 lingams were installed by Lord Rama, under the instructions given by Lord Shiva to Rama, 5 lingams were installed by Lord Rama under the instructions given by Lord Shiva. The first lingam was installed at Manavari near Munishwaram temple, and the second lingam was installed at Munishwaram, and third and fourth lingams were installed at Tirukkoneshwaram and Tirukkediswaram temples, and the fifth lingam was installed by Lord Rama at the Indian shores, which is today known as Rameshwaram. Lord Rama installed the fifth lingam at the Indian shores out of the sea sand with the aid of goddess Sita Devi. Lord Rama installed the fifth lingam at the Indian shores with the aid of Sita Devi at Rameshwaram. The present lecture of Ramayana trails in Sri Lanka clearly reveal us how Ramayana epic was connected to Sri Lanka in ancient times, and that could be identified till this day in this country.